Welcome to Mayo. My name is Emma and I have made a new crochet pattern for this lovely purse in our new EKO Ribbon Yarn. For this bag you almost need a whole roll of our ribbon yarn. I really hope you like this bag and want to make it for all of this summer's festivities. So happy crocheting!
So let's begin. And we're going to start with making a magic ring or a magic circle. Maybe you've heard the two names, but it's the same thing. So hold the yarn like this, wrap it around your fingers, and I like to cross it over like that. With my needle, I go under and I hook this top one and I kind of twist it a little bit so I get a loop. And now we're going to make 2 chains. So yarn over, pull through the loop, one more time, yarn over, and pull through the loop. So now I have 2 chains to start with. Now we're going to crochet half double crochets around this circle or the ring. So yarn over, dive into the ring, hook the yarn and pull it up. So we have 3 loops on our needle, yarn over again, and pull through all 3 loops like this. And there you have a half double crochet. So the first chain we made counts as the first stitch. So now we have 2. So we're going to have a total of 8 around our circle, and make sure you crochet around the tail because that's important. We're going to tighten the circle with this one. So again, we yarn over, dive into the circle, hook the yarn and pull it up, yarn over again, pull through all 3 loops. So continue until you have a total of 8 stitches. So now I make my final stitch and pull this yarn tight, the tail. So you close the circle, but we're not going to close the round. So we're going to crochet back and forth like this. Okay, so let's continue with the next step. So for the second step, as you can see, I cut my tail a bit so it's not in the way. And I've also placed a marker so I know where my last or first stitch is. So remember, that's the second loop on the first chain we made. So again, we're going to start the next round with making 2 chains. So 1 and 2. We're going to turn our work like this. So we crochet back. And now for this round, we're going to crochet an increase, which means we're going to add stitches. So we're going to add 2 in each stitch. So we get a total of 16. So this counts as our first one. And again, we're going to add 1 half double crochet in the same stitch. So in the first one, which is this one, we add 1 more half double crochet. So this counts as 2. And now, if you want, you can place a second marker here, so you know where your round starts. In the next stitch, we're going to make 2 half double crochets. So yarn over, dive down in the next stitch, hook the yarn and pull it up, and pull through all 3 loops. One more time, yarn over, dive down in the same stitch, hook the yarn and pull it up, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Continue all the way to the end. So now I'm at the end of my round, and here where I place my marker, that is the final stitch, so it's important to not miss this one. So again, we make 2 in this final stitch right here, and like this. It's a bit tight here, and I'm going to remove my marker. Okay, so we make our 2 last stitches. So 1 and 2. Okay, so now we have a total of 16 stitches on this round. For this next step, we're going to start with making 2 chains like we did before. So 1 and 2. Then we turn our work. And again, we're going to make an increase, but only in the every other stitch. So remember, this chain counts as a first stitch. So we skip that one, and in the next stitch, we're going to make 2 half double crochets. So yarn over, dive down in the second stitch, and make 2 half double crochets. So 1 and 2. And in the next stitch, we only make 1. And in the next, we make 2, and you just continue that way all the way to the end. So now I'm at the end of my round, so I'm going to remove my marker. I'm going to make my final 2 stitches in the last stitch right here. You should have a total of 24 stitches on your round. So for this next step, which is round 4, we start with 2 chains. So 1 and 2, we turn our work. And now we're going to crochet in every other stitch, and we're going to start in the second one. So start with making 3 half double crochets. So 1, and 2, and 3. And then we skip the next stitch, and in the next one we start with making a single crochet, which is we dive down, hook the yarn and pull it up, and pull through both loops. Then we make 2 chains, 1 and 2, and then in the same stitch we will make 3 half double crochets. So again, yarn over, dive down in the same stitch, and make your 3 half double crochets. So you will have a little top like this, and in this chain space we're going to crochet in that one on the next round. So again, we skip the next stitch, and in the next one right here we dive down, make a single crochet, 2 loops, 1 and 2, and then another 3 half double crochets in the same stitch. So you will repeat this sequence all the way until the last stitch, and I will meet you there. So now I'm at the final stitch, which is right here. So again, we're going to make, just like we started, 3 half double crochets. So wrap your yarn, dive down in the last stitch, make 3 half double crochets, and 3. So let's continue with the next step. So for step number 5, we're going to start with 2 loops, 2 chains like this, turn our work around, and in the second stitch we make another 3 half double crochets, and now we're going to work in these chain spaces right here. So just like we did on the previous round, we start, dive down here, we make a single crochet like this, chain 2, and then we make 3 half double crochets in here. So 1, 2, and 3. Then we go into the next chain space, single crochet, 2 chains, and then 3 half double crochets, and continue all the way into the final stitch, and I will meet you there. So now we're at the final stitch right here. So just like we started this round, we're going to end with 3 half double crochets. So wrap the yarn, dive down in the first stitch or the last one, and make your final 3 half double crochets. So now we're done with round number 5, and you're going to repeat the same steps for round 6 and 7, so 2 more rounds, and then I will meet you there and show you how I finish. So now I'm crocheting my final 3 half double crochets. Now I'm done with my 7th round. So this is what it should look like. Now don't cut the yarn just yet. We're going to crochet single crochets along this top edge right here to give it a nice finish. So you can start with crocheting 1 loop, 1 chain, and it doesn't really matter the exact number as long as you kind of keep it similar looking up here. So we dive down in the next stitch like that, and we make a single crochet, and in the next one up here all the way to the edge up here. Just gonna make my last one right here. So if this is your first half, you would cut the yarn, pull the yarn all the way through and make a knot. But this is my second half. So from this step, I'm gonna now I have my 2 halves right here. So in the next step, I will show you how we put these 2 together. So now we're gonna crochet these 2 halves together. So pick a side that you think looks the nicest. So I have the nice side here and the nice side here. So if you cut off the yarn from the last step, it's totally fine, or you need to add more yarn, just make a slip knot, pull the loop through the first stitch, and we will continue. All right, so grab the 2 halves, and we're gonna crochet single crochets all the way around the edge, but we will only use the outer loops. So let me show you. This part right here and that part. So the outer loops of both stitches. So we will go through here and here like that. So start with the first one might be a little tricky. So just go into a stitch and connect the 2 halves with a single crochet like this. And now using the outer loops of our stitches, so we have 1 and the outer one on the back half like that, hook the yarn, pull through and make a single crochet. And again the next one, so outer loops here like this, hook the yarn, pull through and make a single crochet. Keep crocheting all the way around and I will meet you at the other edge. So now I'm making my final stitch right here, and then we can cut the yarn and pull it through the loop so we make a knot. Now we have almost a full bag. All we need now is a handle. So let's move on to the next step. So for the next step, we're going to crochet the handle for the bag. And to start with, we're going to make a slip knot. So grab the yarn, wrap it around your fingers, slide the loop off, pull the yarn through the loop, and you have a slip knot. So insert your needle, pull the yarn tight. Actually, not going to do that. Hold your slip knot, and here in the seam or around the seam, we're going to crochet 3 single crochets. So from the outside, dive in with your needle, hook the yarn, pull the loop through like that. So we get the knot on the inside. We want to hide that nicely. Make a chain like this. And now we make a single crochet in the same stitch. So dive down, zip it tight, pull the yarn up, make a single crochet. In the next stitch, one more. And on the other side of the seam right here, let's see if you can see, one more single crochet like that. So now we have 3. So we make a chain, turn it around, and make 3 more single crochets. So we're going to go back and forth like this for about 21 rows. But you can make your handle as long as you like, but I will go for 21. So again, make a chain, turn it around, and crochet back. So now I've crocheted the length of my handle. So end with cut the yarn, or if you like me, I'm running out of yarn, but cut the yarn and pull the yarn through the loop so you make a knot like that. And now we're going to stitch it back and forth. So go through with the needle, just like we did for, on the other side, one step from the center or the seam here. So go in somewhere like that, and then we pull the yarn through and make sure we haven't twisted the handle. So it's straight like that. And then we kind of sew back and forth. So again, from this side, we go like this and through one of the loops for the handles like that. So we stitch back and forth. And again, through the next like that. And here we go in the next one like that. And we connect this one over here. See if you can see the last stitch. Pull it tight so it's nicely secured. And then we're just gonna make a loop so we can do a knot like so. Pull it tight, and then you can hide the yarn tail. Maybe go in and out of a few stitches. Then you can just cut the tail. So for the next step, we're gonna sew this handle rounded like this. So for the next step, we're gonna stitch the handle together. And if you had yarn left, you can just keep using the same one. Or if you need to use more, just cut out a string of yarn that is at least twice the length of the handle, so you have more than enough. Okay, so let's start. We're gonna stitch back and forth. So pull the yarn through so you have the tail on the inside like that. So we can hide that. And then see if I can show you here. We're gonna insert the needle on the other side, pull the yarn through, pull it all the way through like that. Then I think it's easiest to just insert your needle like that, pull it through to the other side. If you have a big sewing needle, you can use that. I'm using my crochet needle today. And again, we just pull it through to the other side, like stitching back and forth. Now I'm making my final stitch right here, and all we have to do now is to make a knot. So I'm going to go over to the other side. So I've ended on this side, and I'm just going to secure it with a knot by pulling a loop and pull the yarn through the loop like that. Pull the yarn all the way through, and then you can hide the tail on the inside. Go through a few stitches. See right here. Pull it on the inside, and then we can hide it on the inside right here. Like that. And then you can just cut the yarn. There you have it, your bag. Great job.